So I once again welcome you all to the session on the herbal drug technology. In the today's session, we are going to start the new point, that is patenting and regulatory requirements for the natural products. So let us see the content of the chapter. So in the chapter, patenting and regulatory requirements of natural products, we are going to discuss the definition related with the patents, IPR, that is the intellectual property rights, farmers' right, breeders' right, bioprospecting, and biopiracy. Furthermore, we are going to deal with the patenting aspects of the traditional knowledge and the natural products. Then we are going to discuss the two case studies which is related with the patent of Curcuma and the Neem. So let us move towards the learning objectives. So for this topic, I have set the three learning objectives. Very first objective, that is a defined term, patent, IPR, farmers' right, breeders' right, bioprospecting, and biopiracy. The second objective, that is to understand patenting aspects of traditional knowledge and natural products. What are the things to be considered in the patenting of the traditional knowledge and the natural products? It is more concerned with India, because we have the lot many of ancient books are there, and so many things which are reported in these ancient books in the various languages. And the last objective, to learn the case study of Curcuma, that is the turmeric and neem. So let us move towards the definitions like patent, IPR, farmers' right, breeders' right, bioprospecting, and biopiracy. So very first definition, first point, that is the IPR. IPR, long form, that is the intellectual property right. There are four types of IPRs are there. There is the intellectual property rights, that is the patents, trademarks, copyrights, and the trade secrets. So what is mean by the intellectual property rights? So intellectual property rights, it refers to the general term for the assignment of property rights through patents, copyrights, and the trademarks. That is known as the intellectual property rights. These property rights allows the holder to exercise a monopoly on the use of the item for specified period. Suppose there's some property rights which are given to you. So you are being entitled with respect to monopoly for the particular product. So these property rights allows the holder to exercise a monopoly on the use of items for the specified period. In most of countries, there are four primary types of the intellectual property, that is the IP, that can be legally protected. And these four types, that is the patents, through the patents, it is possible to protect the rights, through the trademarks, through the copyrights, and the trade secrets. So this is about the intellectual property rights. Let us move towards the second definition or second term, that is a patent. Might be you are aware about the patent. If any innovation is there, any novelty is there, which is being protected by patenting the particular thing. So patent refers to the right granted to anyone who invents or discovers any new and useful processes, machines, article of manufacture, or composition of matter, or any new and useful improvement thereof. That is known as the patent. Or in another term, patent is an exclusive and absolute right granted to the owner or inventor of an invention to create, utilize, produce, and market the invention. That is also known as the patent. So this is about the patent. So patent refers to the rights granted to anyone who invents or discovers any new and useful processes, machines, articles of manufacture, or composition of matter, or any new and useful improvement thereof. That is being also considered as a patent. Generally, the IPR or patents, these are granted for maximum period of 20 years, not more than that. So this is about the intellectual property right and the patent. Let us move towards the farmer's right. So the farmer's right, as such particular definition, it is not available with respect to the farmer's right. So the farmer's right, it refers to customary rights of a farmer to save, use, exchange, and sell farm-saved seeds and propagating material. Their rights to be recognized, rewarded, and supported for their contribution to the global pool of genetic resources, as well as to the development of commercial varieties of the plants, and to participate in a decision making on the issues related to crop genetic resources. So this is the farmer's right. Or in another term, the farmer's rights are critical to ensuring the conservation and sustainable use of plant genetic resources for food and agricultural, and consequently for food security today and in the future. So this is about the farmer's right. So farmer's right refers to the customary rights of the farmer in order to save, use, exchange, and sell farm-saved seeds and propagating material. Their rights to be, whatever the rights given to the farmers, these rights are to be recognized, these are to be rewarded and supported for their contribution to the global pool of genetic resources, as well as to the development of commercial varieties of plants, and to participate in a decision making on the issues related to crop genetic resources. So this is about the farmer's right. In the same way, the another right is there which is given to the breeders, and that is known as the breeder's right. It is also known as plant breeder's right, that is the PBR, or plant variety rights, that is the PVR. So breeder's right are rights granted to the breeder of a new variety of plant that give the breeder exclusive control over the propagating material, including seeds, cuttings, divisions, tissue culture, and the harvested material, that is the cut flowers, fruits, foliage of a new variety for a number of years. That is the breeder's right. So what is the breeder's right? So breeder's right, it is granted to the breeder of a new variety. Whatever the variety is that, there should be certain novelty. It should be new for the plant, that give the breeders exclusive control over propagating material as well as the harvesting material of a new variety for a number of years. That is the breeder's right. Within these rights, the breeder can choose to become the exclusive marketer of the variety, or to license the variety to the author. In order to qualify these exclusive rights, a variety must be new, distinct, uniform, and stable. So this is the breeder's right. Let us move towards the bioprospecting and the biopiracy. So what is the bioprospecting? So it is a process of discovery and commercialization of new products based on biological resources. So bioprospecting, it refers to search for valuable active chemical constituents, compounds in the nature. We are going to search the valuable active chemical constituents or the compounds from the nature, and accessing natural resources through legal means securing prior informed consent from the custodians of relevant natural resources, and promoting equitable benefit sharing agreements with the appropriate party. That is known as the bioprospecting. So simply, it is a systematic search for and the development of new sources of chemical compounds, genes, microorganisms, macroorganisms, and other valuable products from the nature. That is known as the bioprospecting. Let us see the biopiracy. So biopiracy refers to the unauthorized and uncompensated taking and the use of biological resources. That is known as the biopiracy. So biopiracy refers to the unauthorized and uncompensated taking and the use of the biological resources. It's a illegal appropriation of a live microorganisms, plants, and animals, including humans, and the traditional knowledge that accompanies it. So biopiracy simply, it is a situation where the indigenous knowledge of nature originating with the indigenous people is used by the others for the profit without permission from and with little or no compensation or recognition to the indigenous people themselves. That is the biopiracy. Hope all of you have understood all these definitions. So we have discussed the definitions of the related with the IPR, patents, farmers' right, breeders' right, bioprospecting, and the biopiracy. 6 definitions we have discussed. Let us move towards the patenting aspects of traditional knowledge and the natural product. Already now you are aware about the patent. What is mean by the patent? How it is to be granted? There are so many aspects are there which needs to be considered, isn't it? And without this, it becomes very difficult to understand the whole procedure, application, and all those things. So one should read the prior part of the related with the patent. So related with the patenting aspects of traditional knowledge and the natural products, initially we will discuss what is mean by the traditional knowledge. Maybe traditionally from one person to another person, whatever the knowledge it is going to be percolated, isn't it? One can say it as a traditional knowledge. So traditional knowledge refers to the knowledge, innovations, and the practices of indigenous and local communities around the world. That is known as the traditional knowledge. Maybe if you can see the India, there are so many things are there which are being traditionally transferred from one person to the another person. It is developed from the experience gained over centuries and adapted to the local culture and the environment. If you can see the certain local languages books, might be some of the medicinal plants, some of the useful information which is going to be written, isn't it? But which is not available globally. It is being covered in the certain local books, or it might be transmitted from one person to the another person through the tradition. So it is orally transmitted from one generation to the another generation. So it is collectively owned and takes the form of stories, songs, folklore, proverbs, cultural values, beliefs, rituals, community, laws, local languages, and agricultural practices, including the development of plant species and the animal breeds. So whatever the traditional knowledge is there, it is a practical nature, particularly in the field of agricultural, fisheries, health, horticulture, then forestry, and environment management. If you can see the India has played a significant role in the documentation of traditional knowledge. Maybe in the ancient times, we don't have the libraries, isn't it? Which is going to record the traditional knowledge. But nowadays, some system which is being developed, isn't it? and which is going to document the traditional knowledge in terms of the whatever the local books are there, which are being converted into the some standard languages. So India has played a significant role in the documentation of traditional knowledge and thus brings the protection of traditional knowledge at the center stage of the international intellectual property system. Isn't it? So this is something related with the traditional knowledge background. Let us see how the protection of traditional knowledge is done. If you can see the case of patent of Neem, which is being first listed in the 1983, and thereafter the case of Curcuma related with it's the wound healing property, and in the case of Neem, it is related with it's a fungicidal activity. Let us see the protection of traditional knowledge. So after the patenting of turmeric, neem, basmati rice, in India and the other developing biodiversity rich countries took the attention towards the danger faced by the traditional knowledge. Two types of intellectual property protections are available, and these intellectual protections are very first one, that is the defensive protection, and second one that is known as the positive protection. Initially, we will discuss the defensive protection, how the things are going to be protected. So the defensive protection, it aims to stop people outside the community from acquiring intellectual property rights over traditional knowledge. Suppose we have certain traditional knowledge, isn't it? And somebody from the other countries may take the rights of the traditional knowledge which is available in the India. So here, the defensive protection, it aims to stop the people outside the community from acquiring the intellectual property rights over a traditional knowledge. For example, India has collected a searchable databases of traditional medicine to be used by patent examiners while accessing the patent applications as evidence of a prior art. So we have developed a system where the international authorities, patent authorities, they have the access towards the traditional knowledge of India. So it becomes very easy for us to protect our traditional knowledge. So this followed a case in which a US Patent and Trademark Office granted a patent. However, furthermore, it is being cancelled for using turmeric to treat the wounds, a properly well-known to traditional communities in India and documented in ancient Sanskrit text. Maybe in the 1993, the turmeric patent, it is being granted by the USPTO. Further litigation which is being filed by the India, and thereafter more than 32 references in the different languages, maybe Sanskrit and so on, which is given to the patent office, and thereafter the granted patent, it is being cancelled for the turmeric. So this is the kind of defensive protection. So it is used to protect the sacred cultural manifestation such as symbols or words from being registered as a trademark. So it seems to be the defensive protection. The second kind of protection of a traditional knowledge by positive protection. So in the case of positive protection, it aims to grant right permitting the communities to promote their traditional knowledge, control its uses, and benefit from its commercial exploitation. So the positive protection, it aims to grant rights permitting the communities to promote their traditional knowledge, control its use, and benefit from its commercial exploitation. So that is being considered as a positive protection. So some uses of traditional knowledge can be protected by existing intellectual property system, and many countries have also developed the specific legislation. However, any specific protection affordable under national law may not hold for other countries, and this is why many indigenous and local communities and government emphasizes on a international legal instrument. Suppose that these things are being patented in the India, it might not be applicable in the United States. It might not be applicable in Japan, China, Russia, Korea, European countries, and so on. So this is about the positive protection. Let us see the patentable examples of the patentable natural products. Maybe all of you are aware about the natural products, how these natural products are being prepared, created, extracted, and so on. The very first case thing, that is a novel isolation process of a natural product. There are so many processes are there which are available in the textbooks, in the reference books, in the research books. But if we have created, if we want to report the different method, different process for isolation of natural products from its surroundings, that is being patentable. So it is possible to patent the such a thing related with the natural product. For example, an Indian patent for the process of isolation of the azadirachtin from the seeds of neem plant. There are so many processes are there, but we have developed the new process, new way to extract the or to isolate the azadirachtin from the seeds of neem plant. The second, that is characterization of new product either by its structure or by other physical parameters. Suppose we have prepared the new product and we have identified by the characterization with respect to their structure or by other physical parameters that is being patentable. Then a new application of isolated products provided unless such knowledge or invention do not exist anywhere. Isolation of any of the new component from the natural material, which is also being patentable. For example, a Japanese patent for use of turmeric as a stabilizer for an antifungal agent. Then certain inventions and novelties, for example, products like biopesticides. So if we have prepared certain new biopesticides, it's an innovation, it is a patentable, which is being from the natural. Then patenting for the biological matters, for example, microorganisms like E. coli, in which the human genes are introduced for the production of human insulin, HGH, human tissue, plasminogen activator are being patentable. And patentable microbial inventions include processed products, methods for producing new organisms, reducing pathogenicity of microorganisms, increasing biological activity, and invention of new organisms and their composition. All these things are being patentable. Then the transgenic plants, that the plants can be altered genetically. Already we have discussed in the first chapter to obtain transgenic plants of a desired characteristic. So that is being patentable. For example, herbicide resistant cotton plant. So it is going to be patentable. Insecticidal resistant tobacco plant. It is going to be patentable. So such techniques are going to be patentable. There are so many varieties are available in the market, but if we have prepared the resistant variety towards certain infection, isn't it? It is going to be patentable. Patenting of the secondary metabolites by cell culture, which includes the sophisticated and specific methods, can be patentable. Example, production of a taxol by cell culturing of taxus species. As we know that the taxol which are being obtained from some herbs, isn't it? And with the help of cell culture, if we are producing, we have developed the method to produce the taxol by using certain cell cultures. So again, it is going to be patentable. It is a certain new processes, new methods, and it is going to be patentable. So this is about the things which are going to be patentable from the natural products. Let us see the traditional knowledge digital library. Okay, we are discussing the IPR, patents, intellectual property rights, patents, farmers' right, breeders' right, biopiracy, bioprospecting. Furthermore, the patenting of the traditional knowledge and the natural products. When we want to patent something, if we can take the example of India, whatever the ancient literature, it is available in the form of local languages. It is not being converted into the some standard languages like English, Japanese, French, German, and Spanish. There are so many trade secrets and patents related with the United States, European countries, Japan, and so on. If the person it is going to apply for the patent in the United States, in the Japan, or in the European countries, and if they don't have any information about the ancient knowledge of the particular natural products or the particular traditional knowledge, then the patent is being granted to the particular agency or the person. And in view of that, the India has decided to develop certain system. All these patent offices, trademarks, and all those things, at least they will get the what is being traditionally utilized in India. What is the traditional indigenous system, isn't it? Which we are using traditionally from one generation to the another generation. As we have the books in the local languages and which is being converted into the all these standard languages, and maybe all these patent offices, they have the access to the traditional systems of India. So with this, in view of that, we have developed in India the traditional knowledge digital library. It is an initiative by the central ministry and which is being developed. So TKDL, it is a collaborative project of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, that is CSIR, and Department of Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Homeopathy, which is being situated in the Ghaziabad, UP. So there is a collaborative work of the CSIR and the Ministry of Ayush, and they have developed the traditional knowledge digital library, and everyone is having access to this digital library. So TKDL acts as a bridge between the traditional knowledge information existing in the local languages and the patent examiners at IPOs. So there are so many patent examiners are there. They are going to examine the various patents which are being applied to the particular agency, right? And all these traditional knowledge digital library access, it is available with the examiners. So it is possible to check the prior art for the particular patent, and that will help to decide whether to grant or to reject the particular patent related with the traditional knowledge or the natural products. So India's traditional medicinal knowledge exists in the local languages such as Sanskrit, Hindi, Arabic, Urdu, Tamil, and so on. Is neither accessible nor comprehensible for patent examiners at the international patent office. And that's why there is a need to develop certain things which will be accessible to the international examiners. international patent examiners. So TKDL is an initiative to provide ancient texts, that is the Indian systems of medicines like Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, and Yoga information existing in a country which is available in India into 5 international languages, namely English, Japanese, French, German, and Spanish. As languages and the formats understandable by the patent examiners and the international patent officers to prevent the grant of wrong patents. So this is about the initiative of the CSIR and the Department of Ayush Central Ministry for the development of the traditional knowledge digital library, and which will help to support, which will help to get easy access to the patent examiners at an international level. So this is about the traditional knowledge digital library. Let us move towards the case study of Curcuma patent. That is also Curcuma longa is also known as the turmeric, and every one of you are aware about the turmeric, haldi. It's right. So it is being used as a spices in all over India. So turmeric is widely used in India as a medicine or a food ingredient. In our daily food, we used to consume small quantity of turmeric. So it is used as a blood purifier in a treating common cold and as an antiparasitic for many skin infections. It is also used as an essential ingredient in a cooking many Indian dishes. The various foods which comprises the haldi as one of the components, maybe in the very small level. So with this background, from the traditionally, this is a tradition of India, and traditionally we are using the haldi as one of the components in the treatment of the various diseases and disorders, along with it is being used in the various food dishes. So in 1995, United States nations awarded a patent to turmeric to the University of Mississippi Medical Center for wound healing property. There is one patent which is being filed in the United States, that is the USPTO, and which is being granted in 1995, right, towards the wound healing activity of turmeric to the University of Mississippi Medical Center. The claimed subject matter was the use of turmeric powder and its administration. That is the title, both oral as well as topical, for wound healing. So the title of patent was turmeric powder and its administration, both oral as well as topical, for the wound healing. This is an exclusive. With this, they got the University of Mississippi, they got the exclusive rights for the turmeric in the United States, which is being granted by the USPTO to sell and distribute the product. Isn't it? Furthermore, the news reached to the India. There's one of the international agency. They have granted the exclusive rights related with the use of turmeric orally as well as topically for the wound healing activity. And furthermore, with the initiative of the Indian Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, that is the CSIR, they have raised they have objected the granted patient. Sorry, they have objected to the patent granted. They have filed the litigation against the particular patent and provided the documented evidence of the prior art to the USPTO, because they want the documented proof. Okay, orally we know that Since ancient time we are using the turmeric, it's fine. But whether it is documented somewhere, yes, we have certain authenticate books. Maybe these books are written in the local languages like Sanskrit, Hindi, Tamil, Arabic, or many more other languages which is being used in the India, right? Around approximately 32 references were located by the CSIR in the different languages like Sanskrit, Urdu, Hindi, and which is being given to the patent office. And furthermore, the USPTO revoked the patent and stating that the claims made in the patent were obvious and anticipated, and agreeing that the use of turmeric was an old art of healing you. It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's an old art. It is obvious. It is available somewhere else. And whatever the granted patent, it is being rejected thereafter. So therefore, the traditional knowledge that belongs to India was safeguarded in the turmeric case. So this is the case of turmeric or the curcuma patent. The second case study that is related with the neem plant. It's used as a fungicide. Maybe in the 1983, the first patent was filed related with the neem products. Thereafter, with the sudden new upgradation, the patent for neem was furthermore filed by the W.R. Grace and the Department of Agriculture USA. Department of Agriculture USA in a European patent office in the 1994. The said patent is a method of controlling fungi on the plant comprising of the contacting the fungi with the neem oil formulation. They have developed certain neem oil formulation and which is being applied to the European patent office. A legal opposition, furthermore, a legal opposition has been filed by the New Delhi-based Research Foundation for Science and Technology and Ecology, that is RFSTE, in a cooperation with the International Federation of Organic Agricultural Movement, that is IFOAM, and the Magda Alvoet, former Green member of the European Parliament, that is MEP. As you know that a tree legendary to India and form its root to its spreading crown. The neem tree contains a number of potent compounds, notably a chemical found in its seed named azadirachtin. And it is being used as an astringent in so many fields. If you can see, furthermore, the bark, leaves, flowers, seeds of neem tree are used to treat a variety of diseases ranging from leprosy to diabetes, skin disorders, and ulcers. As we know traditionally, or we have certain documents related with the use of neem. Furthermore, the neem twigs are used as an antiseptic toothbrush since time immemorial. With this information, which is being submitted to the patent office along with the proofs and documentation, which is available in the local languages as well as it is being transformed into the standard languages. Furthermore, the opponents submitted the evidence of ancient Indian Ayurvedic texts that have described the hydrophobic extracts of a neem seeds were known and used for centuries in India. So it's well known in the India. Hydrophobic extract of neem, it is being used for both in curing dermatological diseases in human and in protecting agricultural plants from the fungal infection. So it's well known in the India, and which is the same document it is being submitted to the patent office. Then furthermore, the EPO identified the lack of novelty in the patent and inventive step to possibly form a relevant prior art and revoke the patent. Whatever the granted patent is there, it is being rejected by the EPO. Apart from this, the several US patents were recently taken out related with the neem based emulsions and the solutions, because the things are available traditionally in the India. It is known to the everyone, isn't it? So this is a case study of the Neem patent. With this, in India, after the Neem patent controversy, the need to protect the traditional knowledge in India has gained the importance. Then India has taken an initiative through the TKDL. Already we have discussed that the traditional knowledge digital library, which helps the examiners or patent officers to search for any information regarding substances or practice while granting the patents, and they can dismiss the grant of patent if the substance or practice is already there in the TKDL list as an Indian traditional knowledge. So this is about the case studies related with the neem and the turmeric. Thank you very much. So in this part, we have discussed various definitions related to the patent, IPR, biopiracy, bioprospecting, breeder's right, farmer's right. Furthermore, we have discussed the patenting aspects related to the traditional knowledge and the natural products. Then we have discussed the two case studies related with the patent of neem and patent of turmeric. Thank you very much.